could the three of you talk to us based on what we have discussed over the past hour and 20 minutes, where you see us going? And I realize, Natasha, that you actually have started us down that path in your context. Roger, call to action.
So I think this whole conversation was really about capitalism, failure, success, et cetera. And the call to action I have, particularly for this group, which I assume is a well-educated group, thought leaders, is to go to the point you made about being educated, get the facts, think through potential solutions. I think recognize that capitalism is the way we're going to organize society. And I think it's incumbent upon the most educated people engaged in these conversations to really challenge ourselves to think through how this is going to work. I'm an unabashed capitalist. I haven't seen in my readings any other system that has done better. And so it's up to us, as it was up to Teddy Roosevelt and FDR and Lyndon Johnson and others, to figure out how, in our own small ways, or in some cases larger ways, we work to make this system better. So call to action is don't give up, get out and act on it.
Thank you. Natasha, do you want to finish where you started a couple of minutes ago?
Sure. I mean, I like to, we do not live in a perfect world. It is an imperfect, morally complex landscape. And I always say, don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. And I'll share just the story of, why we named our company Arjuna Capital. And Arjuna is, an Indian, epic hero in this poem, the Bhagavad Gita, and he's going into battle. And it's a really morally complex landscape, just like we're facing today. And there's, family on the other side, et cetera. And Krishna comes down, who's, this meta god. And Arjuna looks into his mouth and he sees the entire universe. And he has this moment of enlightenment. And what he realizes is that he just needs to act. He needs to go forward. He needs to fight. That's his path of right action. It doesn't solve the whole thing, but this is what he needs to do. And so I think about that for everyone. Everybody has such a unique role to play. What is your power center? What actions can you take that are unique to you that make the world, head in the direction where you want it to go?
Thank you. And Tracy, call to action.
By the way, I love the story of Arjuna. Thank you for sharing, Natasha. I'll just pick up on both Roger and Natasha's point that we have no choice but to really rethink the economic paradigm and to get at an economic paradigm that places the well-being of our communities, of individuals, of society at the center. It's really hard work because we know the benefits of capitalism. And I grew up in probably one of the most capitalist places in the world. I grew up in Hong Kong and my entire family is still in that part of the world. And I've come to embrace America. And I agree with Roger, it's still the best economic system to organize ourselves. And therefore, the idea that you've got to refine the system and still balance the benefits of incentivizing and rewarding individual enterprise and individual accomplishments, yet making sure that people are not left behind, that people who've been historically marginalized, systematically marginalized will still find that opportunity and power and self-determination to thrive is not easy. And there are way smarter people, way more determined people than I who are working on this. But I would just say one thing for those who are on this call, maybe this is the call to action, is that despite its complexity and how hard this work is, and I've been at this now for 11 years in my day job role, it is some of the most rewarding and intellectually interesting work that I've ever done in my career. It's so much more fun than my straight up private sector life before this much messier world that I'm in. And I would encourage all of you to volunteer, to get involved, get your children, your grandchildren to have a career in the sector, because we need the best and minds and the most courageous souls to lean in and help rebuild our economic system.
Thank you.
I've always said that sustainability is a better party.
My thanks to the three of you for sharing your thoughts on this question or these questions. Marion, do you want to weigh in and talk from Class Act's point of view?
Yes, thank you, Lee, and thank you, all of you. What an extraordinary conversation, so much to think about. We have two thoughts, and one is for individuals, and it's quite practical. All of us intersect with various businesses every day, sometimes as customers, sometimes as investors, sometimes in other roles. Our panelists have shown us how businesses can promote important social goals, but each of us has the opportunity to invent social goals ourselves by choosing to do business with socially conscious organizations. And if we have a chance to nudge a company in a positive direction, such as by voting our proxies for investments, we should do that. For Class Act itself, we always began working in the nonprofit sector in health, environment, education, and social justice and civic engagement. At the same time, given what we've heard this evening, it seems very clear that the evolving private sector offers new and effective approaches to our goals for Class Act. So on behalf of all of Class Act, I hope we can make the for-profit world a factor in our initiatives moving forward.